Hello everyone and welcome to Kimcast Art. Today we're going to do an acrylic painting of a waterfall. So hopefully we can get some decent time with this. And first thing we're going to start out with is we've got water. We've got, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 or 8 colors. Titanium white, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, sap green, and ivy black. Mars black will work too. And you can change the blue colors around if you want to too. It makes no difference. First we're going to start out with some of this ultramarine blue. We're going to add some white to it. And I'm just using a fairly wide bristle brush, a number 10. And we're going to start by, I actually sprayed a little bit of water on this palette, on this canvas first, because I wanted to be able to spread the paint a little bit easier, because we got a lot of painting to do here. I've already got bristles on it. Get a little more white with there. We'll put some over here. And it does help with the coverage a bit. But since we've got quite a few different layers here, that's fine. And we'll just come across here like so. I'll probably put a bit of white here in the middle. I didn't clean my brush. I'm just going to put a little bit of white right there. I'm just mainly getting some paint on the palette here. I want a little bit of a white tone in that area. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to wash my brush. And we're going to get some sap green. And we're going to go ahead and put some of that right here. And this is going to have to dry. I'm already getting bristles out of this one too, again. And I have my trash can over there. Yep. I'm going to put some green in these different areas here too. All the way up into there. Be fine. Right up here. And I kind of need it to be a bit darker probably in some of the areas here, but we'll see. Main thing is I want some green in here. And that's going to be pretty dark. I'll probably add a little bit more to that as this dries. It dries pretty quickly, so. Yeah, I think we'll put a bit more blue in here also. I may end up having to use my hairdryer a little bit here. Probably will. I think I'm going to darken that just a little bit with this, on these edges a little bit especially. Get that paint worked in there really good. Now, while this is drying, let me wash the brush a little bit. You don't really have to because we're going to use black next anyway. But we're going to take some black and we're going to start down here on the bottom. A little bit of that green in there won't hurt it a bit because of the landscape. Come all the way up with that black. Pretty close to the top. Not all the way, but pretty close. And we want some over here too. Bring it right up in there. And I do want this to dry before I do too much more. So I'm going, but I want to be able to spread this out some more. I might need to put some more green in there. Let's get this paintbrush dry a little bit. And I want to get a little bit of brown in here too, because we got brown foliage there a little bit. So we get some of that raw umber. And then we can just take and bring this up like so. Well, gotta wet my brush a little bit so it'll move around a little bit more. We can use some white now, and we can kind of bring some white in here a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit, and we can just kind of mix it in. Mix it on the palette. That's what we're basically doing, is mixing it on the palette. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're just mixing it on the palette. About like so. You may have to wipe your brush off a few times because you don't want to mess it up. I'm getting some loose hairs here from this. It's a fairly new brush, so it's kind of messing things up a little bit. I have to keep pulling loose hairs off. And I kind of wanted some more of that blue to shine through in here a little bit too. So I'll get some more of that blue and pull it in where the sky would be. So let's go ahead and do that. Put a little more blue in here. This could be a total wreck before I'm done. We'll see. We will see how it works out. So go ahead and just brush it up and down a little bit here. About like so. Maybe a little bit more blue over here, so we can see some of that sky coming through. A little bit more there. There we go. Okay. About like so. Okay, so go up and down with your vertical strokes, like so. You can use a little bit of white with that. Won't hurt it a bit. Maybe use a damp brush just a little, just to smooth it out a little bit. I want to make sure this is pretty dark down in here though. Make sure this is black. Doesn't have to be all the way down, but quite a ways down it does. Not like so. That's probably more than I need it dark, but we'll leave it there anyway. About like that. And maybe just a little bit darker over here on the bottom. Almost predominantly black. But we're going to be coming over it with some blue anyway, which is fine. Okay. There we go. And wash your brush. Probably could have been a little bit darker over here with some darker green. And let me see, I may just add a little bit more of that darker green. I can stop pulling my brushes out here. I still don't want to lose that blue either. I still don't want to lose the blue. Could even use a bit of that phthalo blue in there, wouldn't hurt it. There we go. Okay. I think we're getting there. You go ahead and wash your brush. Well, we might need to go a bit lower right there, but let me see. I wish I had it a bit bluer in this area, but I don't. But we will add a little to it. Right in here, I'm going to get a little bit lower, and you'll see why here in a minute. Because the waterfall is going to be a bit lower. Okay. And we'll wash our brush. Again, there's a lot of washing your brushes in this painting business. Not to mention I get it all over my fingers all the time. And that's why I keep a big old pile of paper towels here. I fold them up and make sure I got lots of them there. Okay, so we'll set that brush aside for the time being, and I'm going to go with a little bit bigger brush. And we have actually I need this to be, I need to add some more darker green to this side over here. I didn't realize that until I looked at my reference picture, and it's supposed to be darker over here. Add a little bit of black to that. I didn't realize it was that dark until I actually looked. Okay, and I'll just smoothen this up a little bit, like so. We don't want to try to get rid of them, some of them lines a little bit. I wish I had 2 jars. This one's getting dirty real fast. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, take this brush right here, and I need to get some more light blue paint. And we want to go ahead and start working on the falls themselves. Let me put this in a separate area here. And this really does need to be dry, so, and make sure you wet your palette every now and then with a little bit of water. Make sure your paint don't dry up on you. And I need to use my hair dryer. I should have had it ready, but I want to, is it plugged in? Yeah. Sorry about that noise. Okay, hopefully that's dry enough. And now we'll take this blue and we'll start with a waterfall with some blue coming down here. Just one stroke. We're going to need plenty of paint. All the way down. Like so. In fact, we will be coming all the way down here to about halfway. Like so. And we're putting some blue in the background here so you can, it'll really highlight that white when you get that white in there for the water. All the way down like so. And we'll wash the brush, which might not be the best idea since it's got a lot of green in there now. You have more time than I do, so you may want to go ahead and get some clean water. And then we're going to come down here with some white. And we're going to come down like so. And you may need to give this a couple of coats before you're done with it. More than likely you will. Let that thickness show right up on it too. Want it to be nice and thick. I can see right now I'll probably end up needing more white paint. And you may have to go over it a couple of different times. We might even use a little bit of white in with this blue and come down the side of it maybe a little bit. And come back with your white again. It does take a lot of white paint to get it. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight either. It can be bouncy, a little bubbly or whatever. Kind of want some of that to show through anyway. Some areas are a little bit whiter than others. Pretty thick stuff in here, in this paint right here. So the bottom, we're going to go ahead and we'll make a lighter blue, and we can take and just bring this a little bit darker blue than that. Want that to be a lot darker, so we can have where the bottom is actually hitting the bottom here. I'd like to have had it up a little bit higher, probably. We need to have room for some water down here. Wipe that off a little bit, put a little bit of white here, and we can put some white up in this area. Once that dries some more, let that dry a bit. So while that's drying, I want to enforce the fact that we're going to be having a bit more structure to this area right here. It's probably not quite dry enough for that, but we will start now. And so I want this to be a bit darker. Another here, Joy. We'll make this pretty dark in this area. And all the way down to the bottom, pretty much at an angle here. We'll be having some water, so we want this to be good and dark. And then we're going to go all the way up here. With this dark. About like so. Maybe we'll be coming out a little bit right here with some rocks or whatever. So, edges, whatnot. Don't want that to be perfectly straight. We just want it to look like it's got some structure there of some kind. And I think we'll probably end up coming up about right here. With some black too, but that's obviously that white's not dry yet. But we're going to be coming out over into the falls about right here. We'll have to put some more on here soon, most likely. We'll just let that dry some. And while we're doing that, we will come over here I'll wash this brush and get it out of the way. Wipe some of that paint off it. An awful lot of green in that water. It kind of bothers me. I wish I had another bottle of clean paint, clean water. But I didn't think of that. I didn't think I'd make quite such a mess, I guess. So let's think about doing some areas over here with some leaves and stuff. So we'll start out with a lighter color green. And we'll just start by get that hair off there, which it doesn't seem to want to come off. And we'll just start with a lighter color, a little bit darker than that maybe. And we'll just start right here. Still ain't dark enough. We'll start up in here, way up here. Look like some leaves from a tree and whatnot. About like so. Put a little bit of water in that paint. We want to be able to see what's behind them leaves too, a little bit. More in here. I'm going to go all the way down in here. And let some of that dark show through. Kind of want that to happen a little bit. We'll be using a darker green in here too. And maybe even a lighter green after we get some of this down here. We want some of them leaves going all the way up into here. Take your time. Take more time than I am because I'm certainly kind of rushing things. But take your time. Leave some of that dark in there is fine. It's great. That's what you want to do. Okay, and then you can take and use a darker green in different areas to make it look more realistic. Those a bit more sparingly. Don't forget to add a little bit of water to it because if you don't, you'll get kind of some splotchier looks than you really want. And don't have them all going the same way. You want to vary them up a little bit. All the way down into here. Now when you get into here, you'll notice it's pretty black down here, so we can probably add some lighter colors to differentiate the different colors of the leaves. And these here, they're hardly visible anyway, but you just want some green in there anyway. Otherwise, it'll probably look a bit funnier if you don't. And then we can take a little bit of white and we'll add it to the green. And then you can add some lighter colors here and there. That'll give it more of a realistic look. Just a little bit here and there. You don't want to get too carried away with it. All the way down into here. And here you may want to actually make that a little bit darker. Kind of a darker light green maybe. Because it is a bit darker here, so you want to darken that up some. Let's try this a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit darker. About like so. Okay, so let's wash our brush. And let's, hopefully this is dry enough that we can add some to it. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll check and we'll see. We'll add some to this, hopefully. Still pretty wet evidently. But that's okay. I'm just kind of splotching this in here a little bit. And I'm going to make this have some little, I'm putting a bit of green in here with this black. Kind of make it a little bit, like a little bit of foliage in here. Not a lot, but a little bit. And we'll get some up in here eventually, after this dries a little bit more. But I want to make some spots in here too. About like so. And we'll lighten up some of this foliage here after it dries some more. And put some other stuff in here. We just don't want it to be all totally black. We want it to have some lifelike substance to it. Okay, so even up in the top here, we can add a little bit up here even. So that can be a little bit, so it's kind of sticking out a little bit there, a little bit. Won't be able to see a lot, but we'll put a little bit of a lighter black up in here too. Just look like it's got like little stones or something. Just little dabs here and there. Probably a little bit lighter than that even. It's like little stones, kind of randomly here and there. About like that. Okay, so while we got this color, we'll go ahead and get a little bit more of this white. And we'll make some gray, really dark gray here. So we can put in some trees up here. And we will start with one, maybe we'll come, we're coming from the top here, so maybe we'll come down and right about there. Put a little bit of water in there. About like so. And we'll be hitting them again with some darker colors, whatever, just kind of drawing them in at the moment where we want them. And this one's going to be a pretty big one. So we'll go ahead and make it a little bit wider, like so. And maybe we'll have one over here, about like so. And maybe it'll come down here like this. And I think maybe we'll have a branch coming down here. And we'll have some more branches over here. A little bit more water in there. And let's see, maybe we'll have some branches over here. About like that. Maybe one right here. And maybe one up here. And we might even, we'll have this one here. And looks like we're going to come over here a bit more. Like so. Like that. And maybe one down here. Alright, now we can go ahead and use maybe a liner brush. Let's see what we got here for a liner brush. We'll get some water, some black. And we'll see if we can add a little bit of black to this. Get plenty of water on that, in that black, because as you can see, I can get enough water. I have to go over it a couple of times, but we're going to be using another color here anyway to highlight the branches a little bit. And a lot of these branches will be covered up with leaves anyway, so you don't have to be perfect with them. We'll just be showing parts of them anyway. But it's good practice to go ahead and get them. Make them look realistic as possible. A little more water. And don't forget to spray your palette, because I do that all the time. I forget to spray it. And my paint gets dry, and then it's my fault. That it gets dry. Okay, so now we can get a little bit more white and mix it in and have this a bit more of a grayish color. Could even put a little bit of that blue in there, it won't hurt it. And you can use that for highlighting some of these, especially these bigger branches. Some of these you may not even see, like I said. You can lighten up that black a little bit by putting a little highlight on them, like so. Just like that. Like that. Now, you may want to take and, we got this chunk coming off, this one here. But we'll be coming off around that anyway, probably. These are a bit higher up than I really wanted to be. So I'm going to cut them off about right there. And we'll be putting some stuff around there anyway. Alright, so we want to get some more, a lot of green here so we can do some leaves. and we're going to add some black to it. We want to darken these leaves up quite a bit. The first ones, we get plenty of water. And what we can use is maybe, just a round brush would probably work, or even a square one or whatever. So you can go ahead and start tapping in some different leaves here and there. Plenty of paint. All the way up into the top here. Fill that painting right up. We got lots of leaves. About like so. And you could have even, I could have had some branches down here, which probably wouldn't have been a bad idea, but we'll just fake it and pretend that we got branches there. Now we'll take and add some of this Indian yellow to this mix. And then some white. Could even put a little yellow ochre in there. Won't hurt it a bit. And we can highlight some of these with that color. It's probably not as yellow as I like it to be. Let's see if we can lighten it up some more. Some more white. There we go. And don't kill all your other colors though. Make sure you're careful about that. Don't kill all them other colors. Okay, now we can take that same color, we're going to add a little bit more white to it. A lot more white actually. And what I'm going to do is before I do that though, I wanted to add some more black down here. So I need to get a bit of black. I want to add some roots coming down. Okay, so we're going to add some roots like so. like so. Okay, we want to get some other leaves on these areas too, so let's have some stuff coming out here to do just that. And some of that we may end up covering up, but we'll see how that works out. And if you got a little bit more gray than you want right there, then you can go ahead and cover that up some. About like that. Now that color I just mixed, that's really, really light. And what we're going to do here is I'm just going to tap around here like this. Like there's fallen leaves on the ground here and stuff like that. We're just going to tap them in right here. You don't want them all going the same way, just tap them in there gently. Get some water in with it. About like so, nothing too drastic. And you can always take and take a little bit of this lighter yellow, and you may want to put a few spots here and there. Not much, just a little bit. And I will probably take and I wanted to have that tree root right here. I wanted to have that tree root come out right in there. Kind of dark. About like so. And as you see, I missed some leaves right there. I just saw them. We had some darker ones, but we never did put any lighter ones in here. So we're going to put some right in here. Not sure how I missed them, but I did. And then we'll take and get some of that darker green again. If we'd have had these already, we could have done this before, but we'll put some little dabs here and there of these little leaves hanging off these vines, like so. You can even add some inside here in different areas. Wherever you want them to be. Then you can swipe it off or whatever and grab some of them lighter colors. However you want them. Some down in here. Okay. Now we'll take And we're going to get some white up here. It's white with a little bit of green on it, but whatever. And we can take and very gently just tap a little bit of white here and there. Not a lot. You don't want to kill everything else. Just a little bit of white here and there, like flowers or whatever. Don't want too much. Just a little bit here and there. Kind of separate some of the spots a little bit. Like so. Not too many though, you don't want to get overbearing with it. Just a little bit. Okay, so let's clean that up a little bit. This should be getting pretty dry down here, so let's let's see if we can get some good clean white here. It's not too messed up. And first we will take it very lightly and kind of pull down some of this white here. But we want to make some splashy looks up here from the water. Right up there like so. And we want to get some down here in the bottom. And that's going to have a little bit of a blue to it. Be a bit blue. But we'll add some white to it. About like so. Maybe just a little bit more white. About like so. And now we're going to take some of this phthalo blue here. I want to darken this up quite a bit, so we're going to use that for the water down here. And this water is going to come down. Get a little bit of the other blue in there with it. Like so. I'm actually adding some of that light blue to this phthalo blue. I didn't want it to be quite that dark blue. But I'm going to bring it all the way over to here, to an angle. A little bit of water in there, I believe. I don't want it to be quite that dark. And we'll rub that right in there really good. Get some more water, more paint. I don't know why that's not spreading so well. It should be spreading a lot better than that. You want to keep that a little bit darker over in that area over here. There we go. We're almost done. Let's concentrate on getting this part done, and we will be having a complete painting. We'll get this hair off of here. I'm not sure where that one came from. Now we got quite a bit of dark in there. We'll be adding some of the blue back in here, along with some white. Once we get this all full, like so. Now we can just add some of this, the lighter blue in here, like so. Like so, all the way across. Get them ripples in there and whatnot. Okay, and now we can go ahead and get some more white in here. And we want this to be more predominantly blue because we're going to be putting some white in there. We just want that blue behind it. So we'll put that in there about like so. And now we'll come back and we'll get some more white. And we will start coming in here with the white like so. And probably going to need a lot more white, most likely. But just go ahead and just kind of grab some white and let it go. About like so. Wash your brush after that blue. We're going to need some more white. And then we can go ahead and we can tap in some white here more for more splashiness. So we can splash up and around about like so. About like that. Use it to cover up any of the boo-boos you don't want to see. And then you can just kind of straighten that out a little bit, like so. And another thing that will make it more interesting is you could actually put some vines in if you want to or whatever, and we could take some of this lighter stuff here and you could really kind of highlight a few spots down here. Make it look like there's some other kind of weeds or whatever in here. Other different lighter leaves. About like so. Kind of give it a little bit more life to the painting. Maybe some more in here. You know, who knows, wherever you want them. Whatever you think might look good, add them to it. Just like so. Wherever you want it to be. Just like that. And you've got yourself a completed painting. Pretty much. Now there's only one thing else I'm going to do here. And this is kind of an optional thing. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But I'm going to take, just in case you do, I'm going to add some vines. You know, like some Tarzan vines here from the trees. Now you can just make sure you get plenty of water in this black paint. Make it come out to a nice point. And then you can just start coming down with some vines, just like this. very lightly. Down into the water, just like that. However many you want. But make sure your paint has got plenty of water in there. Because it'll stop like mine did here. You want to try to get with one shot if you can. However many you want to do, just do them. And they don't have to be all the same length. They can be different lengths. It doesn't matter at all. Just do however many vines you want to do and however far you want them to go. And from whatever trees you want them to come out of. Just like so. However many you want. Doesn't matter, you can even have vines coming off the vines. It won't make any difference. Just like so. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave some comments. Hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate it all. Y'all have a good day. And the only other thing that you can do, I didn't think of it, is you could actually take some white paint and just add some little dots here and there, wherever you want. Just dots. I'm kind of going overboard a little bit here. Just add some little dots to it, wherever you want. Make sure you add a little bit of water to that paint. And you could add some little dots down below, right down where your waterfall is right here. So it looks like there's splashing water coming up from them dots. That's the other thing that you could do, like so. And even down here, add some dots to it. I didn't think of that. I don't know why, but I didn't. I meant to earlier, and I guess I forgot. So just add some little dots here and there. No big deal. Wherever you want them. Just a few. A lot. However many you want. Just a few little dots here and there. Add some water to it. Just like so. Even over here on the tree. You can put them over here too, just wherever. I'm getting carried away with them. As you can see, I usually do. But if you don't like them, you can always take your brush and brush them right off, get rid of them. Not a problem. Or if you want to go through, like if you want to make sure you see that vine like I just did there, and just go back over it again. Have a good day, and we'll catch you the next time. Hope you enjoyed this waterfall. Let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. And share it with your friends. That definitely helps. Have a good day. Ah.